Hi all, this is Dr. Artna Chaturvedi from the Department of Information Technology. The subject which I am taking is Fundamental of Web Programming using Java. Within this, today we'll talk about inheritance. So inheritance in Java is the mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of a parent object. It is one of the important part of OOPS. The idea behind the inheritance in Java is that you can create new classes that are built upon the existing classes. So when you inherit from an existing class, basically you are reusing the already defined methods and data members or fields of a parent class. And in the new child class, you can add new methods as well as fields also according to the creation of a new child class. So inheritance represents the is a relationship which is known as a parent-child relationship. In this, if we say that why the inheritance is important, what is the role of inheritance in Java? So inheritance basically, whenever we are implementing inheritance, the first and utmost important thing is that you are reusing the already existing features. So it saves your time also. And secondly, if you want to implement runtime polymorphism, so in Java, runtime polymorphism can only and only achieved by method overriding, which is like applicable when we learn the concept of or when we implement the concept of inheritance. Various terms which are used in inheritance and you should aware of is first of all class. Class is a real-time entity or a group of objects which are having some common properties. It is like a template or a blueprint from which objects are created. It is also said to be a single unit which is used to define the data member and member function of a class, or you can say of any real-time entity. So it is a kind of user-defined data type wherein you are defining or enclosing or binding together the data member and member functions of any real-time object or entity. So like for student, the data members are student ID, student name, student address, and the functionality can be add students detail, modify students detail, delete students detail. So to combine the data members and member functions together under a single unit, the class can be used. Subclass and child class, either we say it's subclass or child class. It is basically a class which inherits the features of the already existing class. It is also called as derived class or extended class or child class. Superclass or parent class is the one whose features you are inheriting into the subclass. So the class from which you are inheriting the features into the child class, or which is reusing the feature of existing class, then that existing class is known as superclass or parent class, and the existing class whose features we are reusing in subclass is also known as base class. Reusability is one of the term because we are actually reusing the already existing features. So reusability is a mechanism which facilitates you to reuse the data member and member functions of the existing class when you create a new class, and you can use the same fields and methods also which are already defined in the previous class in new child or derived class. Here you can see that inheritance can be defined as the process of acquiring properties of parent class by child class, and in this mechanism, as we are performing the concept of reusability, or there is a kind of relationship. For example, if you are having a bike as a super class and you are having so many number of different bikes of different brand like Honda, Bajaj, TVS. So we can say that bike is a super class which is having some common features, and different brand bikes are having some different features, but they are definitely be inhibiting the features of already existing class bike also. So Honda, Bajaj, TVS, etc. will be the child or derived class or subclass of a parent class bike. And to derive or to implement the inheritance, the keyword which we use is extends. So if we talk about syntax, you can easily see that first of all, with the help of class keyword, we will be defining a class. We'll be giving the name of a class over here, and then here the entire code means all the data member and member functions can be declared over here. Member function can be defined also within this block only, where you are actually defining a class. Now suppose this, from this existing class you want to derive a new class. How you will be writing? We'll be writing again class keyword, then derive, the name of a derived class, extends the name of a parent class. And then you can write or add some new data member and member function in already existing data member and member function of a parent class. This is an example which is being done over here. Here I have declared one class employee, and these are the data member of employee class. Data members are having employee number, employee name, the salary. I have already initialized the value to the variable salary. Now this employee is a constructor. Through this constructor, I am constructing some values to these data members, like 101 is employee number, employee name is Rajat Sharma, and salary is 25,000. Now I want one more class to be derived from the already existing class, because I want to use these all features again in some new class, and I want to add some new feature to the new class. New feature is like how much bonus a particular employee is getting, what is the skill, what is the number of experience. So let's say I want to use all the properties like employee number, employee name, and salary in a new class, and the name of a class is programmer, because definitely programmer will also be having an employee number and name and salary, because programmer is also an employee. But I just want to tell over here, or that what all skills a programmer is having, or what all number of years of experience programmer is having. Am I giving some bonus to him? So what we can do, we can declare a class by the name programmer, use extends keyword, and extend from the base class employee. So whatever the feature of employee class we have already declared will going to come within the programmer class. These are its own new data members. It is a constructor wherein I am using super keyword, because whenever I'll be making an object in the main, I'll be making an object of a child class. So how this child class will be going to initialize the data member of parent class. So we're using super. When we say super and we are not passing any argument to it, it is simple a super method. So what it will do, it will first of all going to call its parents constructor, and then here I have initialized the value to the data member of programmer class only. Now in main, we will make the object of a child class, that is programmer. The name of object is P, and using P, you can easily see that I am able to access all the data member of parent class as well as child class. And you can look over here also that the details which are being built through the constructor are being get displayed over here. So this is how the inheritance work. I have made the object of programmer. Programmer class was not having any employee number. Programmer class was not having employee name as a member function, and not having salary as a member function. But I am able to access it using the object of a programmer class, because a copy of it is being inherited in the programmer class, which is a derived class derived from the parent class employee. This is an example of simple inheritance, and if you look over here, I have imported one package, that is java.util. This I have imported because I will be accepting input from the user, because to accept the input from the user we have to use scanner class, and to use scanner class we have to import a package java.util. It's a simple class wherein there is one data member, that is result, and one member function. The name of member function is a square, which is not returning any value. One argument I'll be passing when I'll call this function, that's why it is defined over here, and the type of the argument is int. The moment this function get called and bring one argument from outside, it will be going to find out the square of that input provided input and store the result in this variable result, which is a data member of a class. And from here I'm just printing over here, giving the output that the square of a number num is the argument which is being passed, is whatever the result I have evaluated over here, that will come and get displayed over here. So this is a function definition, and here this class definition get over. Now I am inheriting one or deriving one class. There is a subclass by the name of sub area, and this sub area subclass is being derived from the parent class area. It means in this sub area, this result variable data member of area class will definitely be available, and along with this square member function will also be available. So I'm not including any other data member of this inherited class, derived class, and it is having only one more member function defined in itself, and the name of member function is cube, which is again not returning any value, bringing one input and finding out the cube of that parameter passed while calling the function, storing the output in the result variable, which is a data member of parent class, and I'm again displaying it. Num is the name of a variable through which parameter is being passed by the calling function, and result is a variable which will be holding the calculated value of num as a cube of a number. So what is being seen over here, that if this is a sub area class, this is a sub area class, this whole. So this sub area class is having its own member function, that is cube, and it will be having a copy of member function and data member of area class also. So this sub area member function is now having two sub area class, which is a derived class. It will be having two member function. One is of area, another is of sub area, and one data member result which is of area. So this is what is being defined in a parent and subclass. Now we will see further that how these all member functions will be going to get called if we implement inheritance. So this is a main function. In this, as I said, I'll be using scanner class to take the input from the user. That's why I have imported a package java.util, and here num is a variable. This is an object of scanner class. The input will be coming through keyboard. I'm prompting the user to enter a number. The moment user will enter a number, I'll be picking this number using one method of scanner class, that is nextInt, with the help of the object just created, that is sc object. So sc.nextInt will be accepting the value entered by the user through the keyboard and storing it in num variable. Now I am creating an object of derived class. I have to create an object of derived class, that is sub area. And with the help of this object, if I call square, I'll be able to find out the square of entered number. If I'll call cube, I'll be able to find out the cube also of a entered number with the help of derived class object. So this is possible because I have inherited a sub area class from the parent class, that is area class. And sub area class is able to access square function as well as cube function. So in this output, I am prompted with a prompt, that is enter a number. The number entered is 2. So the heading is coming calling square function. I am getting the output of as square of 2 as 4, and for cube I am getting 8. So this is how we can implement inheritance, and this example is of single inheritance, single level inheritance, because only one class is being derived from the parent class. So because I have inherited single class from the parent class, that is why it is known as single level inheritance. So there are so many number of different types of inheritance also, like single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. Java basically does not support multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance using classes. It can be implemented in Java, but with the help of interface, which we'll see when we learn interface. These are some diagrams with the help of which you can easily come to know that how different types of inheritances can be implemented. Single level means this is a parent class, and when from this parent class up till one level only single class is being derived, then we say that it is a single level inheritance. And suppose class is a grandparent class, class B is a parent class, and class C is a child class. So there are two levels. At level 1, I have derived class B from class A. And at level 2, I have derived class C from class B. So that is why it is known as multi-level. Now class C will be having all the data member and member functions available of class A and class B in itself, and depends upon the accessibility mode also. If it is public, it will be available. That we see in further classes, that what is the role of access modifier and what portion of data member and member function we will be able to access when we perform multiple inheritance or single level inheritance or hierarchical or hybrid or multiple. So here hierarchical means there will be one parent only, and one parent can have any number of child at another level, and after this again at further level more childs can be derived from the parent class. So it is maintaining a hierarchy, so grandparent, then sub parent, these are the child. So that is why we say that it is a hierarchical inheritance, which is like a tree kind of structure wherein only one root directory will be over there, and further on it can be expanded with so many number of sub directories, and then keep on moving further till the leaf node level, wherein further on it is not being expanded. Now multiple and hybrid inheritance are two inheritance which are not possible with the help of Java classes, but are possible with the help of concept of interfaces. And what is there in multiple inheritance? That there are two classes, and if from two different classes one child class is being derived, then we say that it is a multiple inheritance, because it is inheriting the feature in itself from multiple classes. So here in Java, these will not be classes. It will be, one will be class and other will be interface. And in hybrid inheritance, if we are having, if we implemented two or more than two types of inheritance together, we say that it is a hybrid inheritance. Like here, if we look at till this level, so it is a hierarchical inheritance where one root directory is over there, one parent is over there, and two child classes are over there which are being derived from the root class. But if we look at the second portion, we can see that class D is derived from two different classes, class B and class C, from multiple classes which is being derived. So it is a multiple inheritance. And if we look at half of the portion, then what we say, it is multiple, multi-level, one level, two level, three level. So it is a combination of more than two types of inheritance. That is why it is known as hybrid inheritance, which in Java is possible with the help of concept of interface, which we'll be seeing in coming classes. Now we'll further see more examples or different types of inheritance. First we will talk about single level inheritance, for which we have already seen the example. And in this there will be one parent class, and from one parent class if I am deriving another child class, then we say that the level is one only and it's a single level inheritance, because class is being extended only from one class and only one class is being derived. This is an example where I have taken a parent class, and this parent class is having one function display, which is saying that I am a display function of parent class. I am having a child class. I am using extend keyword to inherit the features of parent class and child class. So that's why I have written extends parent. Now it is having another method by the name of cDisplay, and the message which will be going to get displayed is I am a display function of child class. Now what is to be seen, that a class which is having a main function, this is a third class which is having a main function, is having an object of a child class. Child class is having all the features of parent. I have created the object of child class, and with the help of object of child class, I am trying to access this display function as well as its own member function. For this I have written obj.display. Display is a member function of parent class, and obj.cDisplay, which is a member function of child class. And you can see over here we have displayed the output. First output is I am a display function of parent class. Second is I am a display function of child class. So this is all about single level inheritance. Similarly, we will see more examples and we understand more facts. In case you are having any doubt, you can always put your doubts, write your queries in description box. It's a multi-level inheritance. What is the difference over here? Here, this is a grandparent class. With the help of this grandparent class, I have derived class B. So what I have written, class B extends A. So class B is being derived or inheriting the features of A. So B is a child class. Now again I am creating one more class, but we are extending or deriving this class from class B. So there are two levels. This is level 1 and this is level 2, and this class C will be having all the features of A as well as B. So this is a multi-level, level 1 and level 2. So how we implement this multi-level inheritance? For this I am having one grandparent class. Grandparent class is having member function as gDisplay, and it's showing that I am a display function of grandparent class. Now I am inheriting the features of grandparent class and parent class by deriving it from grandparents. For this I have written class parent extends grandparents. It is having another function by the name of display, and the message which I am displaying is I am a display function of parent class. Now at another level again I am having one more child. I am extending the feature to the child class from the parent class. So this is the second level. Here I am having one more function. The name of function is child cDisplay, and I am saying I am a display function of child class. So what is to be seen over here, that all the feature of grandparent class will be coming to parent class, and all the features of parent class will be coming to the child class. So we can say that all the features of grandparent as well as parent class will be available in the child class. How we can check whether this is possible or not? We can go to main function, for which I have created another class, that is ML inheritance. Within this I'll make the object of child class, last class, which I have derived, and we see that with the object of this child class whether I am able to access all other functions also which are defined inside other parent classes. And see, it is possible. It is displaying I am a function of grandparent class, then I am a function of parent class, then I am a function of child class. So it means ki to this child class at second level all the features of grandparent and parent classes are available. So this is a multi-level inheritance, and we can go till any level. It depends upon the requirement of a program. Now it's a hierarchical inheritance. In hierarchical inheritance, what you see, that from one class only, there is one class, I am deriving two other classes. So with the, while explaining two other classes, I'll write extends A, extends A. In both the case, I am extending the features of A into B and C respectively. So here is an example. I am having an employee class. Data member are employee ID and employee name. I am having one member function get data. Another is G display. So it's a simple employee class wherein I am taking the employee ID and employee name. Then I am getting the information, accepting the information and displaying it. But in case I am having two other kind of employees also, one is salaried employee, another is wage based employee. So definitely salaried employee will also be having name and ID, and wage based employee will also be having ID and name. So why to declare both those data members again? what I'm doing, I'm inheriting the features of employee class in salaried employee class and wage based employee class. So whatever is being declared over there in public mode will automatically be available in the child class. Child class is having its own data member. First is salary, second is department. Again, it is having its own get data function which will accept the input, and its own output function which will be going to display the output. I'm having one more class, that is wage based employee class, for which the other data members which are required are overtime and number of days user has worked for overtime. And here I'm having one more member function, that is wages. At what rate I am giving the wage to the wage based employee, and what will be the final payment which I'll be giving to the wage based employee. For this I'm having two member function. One is to accept the data, another is to display the data after calculating the final payment to be given to the wage based employee on the basis of overtime he worked with and the criteria of giving wages per hour. And here there is another class, hierarchical inheritance, wherein there will be a main function. In main function, now what I'll do, I'll create an object of employee class which is a grandparent, which is a parent main class, and I see that with the help of this object I'll be easily available to get the information and display function. Now if I want to call the details of first child class, that is salaried based class. So for that I'll be creating a separate object, and using the object of salaried employee I'll be able to access the data member and member functions which are available over there. And similarly we will do the same with the help of wage based employee class. For the wage based employee class I'll be making another object, and using that object I'll be calling the member function of wage based employee class. So here is an output. I have executed also it. Here I am asking user to enter employee ID, name. Then once user has entered, I have displayed. Then calling the first child class, wherein it will ask what is the salary package, which department you are working, displaying employee ID and name also over here because it is available. As I have inherited like this class is inherited from the parent class, so whatever the feature these parent class are having automatically get inherited to the child class also, because child class is being derived from this parent class. Similarly for wage based employee class is also derived from the parent class, so it will automatically will be having employee ID and name data members. And when we try to access the method also, methods are also available of parent class, and I can easily execute that with the help of object of a child class. So this is multi-level inheritance. Next is multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, one derived class extends from more than one class, but as I said, Java does not support multiple inheritance with the help of classes. To achieve multiple inheritance, it will be using interfaces, and the concept of interface we will learn in coming classes. Multiple inheritance basically not supported by Java because it will going to reduce the complexity of a program. There will not be any ambiguity which is to be resolved with other ways. Like consider the scenario where A, B and C are three classes. C classes inherits from A and B classes. If A and B classes both are having the same method name, and when you call it from the the object of child class will get confused that which method you are calling, one which is coming from or inherited from class A, or other which is inherited from class B, because name is same. So to remove this ambiguity, Java doesn't support classes. Java uh, give the provision to implement multiple inheritance with the help of interfaces. So here it is shown in the example that I am having one class A. Class A is having message function, I'm having another class B. Class B is also having message function with different outputs. Class C is going to get inherited from A and B, for which we have written extends A comma B, and now we will make definitely the object of child class. So the moment we go to the child class, as per the rule, all the members inherited from the parent class will be available if the accessibility mode is default or public and protected in terms of inheritance. So here when I create the object of child class, we see that there is a error message which is coming, compile time error, because I am not able to access the member function message, which is common in both the classes, in A as well as B. There are two copies, so which one is to be called? So to remove this ambiguity, interfaces came into the introduction part and just give the solution of removing the problem of ambiguity. So here is an example of single level inheritance with constructor. You can use constructors also, and for this there is a class is having 3 data member. It's a parameterized constructor. The name of a class and the name of member function is same. One argument I am passing is the data type of argument is the name of class only. It means it is a copy constructor because I am passing an argument as an object of a class. So whatever the value this object will be bringing for the data member, those will be going to get copied over here. So it's mentioned width is equals to ob dot width, height is equals to ob dot height, and depth is equals to ob dot depth. Again, this is also a parameterized constructor wherein I am passing the data members, wherein I am passing 3 arguments, and all the 3 arguments are of double type. So whatever value it will be bringing from outside will be going to get initialized to the data member of a class. This is a default constructor where I am giving the default values to all the 3 data members. Here it's again a parameterized constructor, but the number of parameters are 1 over here. Here there are 3, and here it's an object of a class. And one member function, that is volume, which will be going to calculate the volume of the box for which I will be creating a object. So here again I am having one more class. The name of class is box weight. I am extending from box. All the features of box will be available to box weight. I am just adding one more attribute, that is double weight. So when I create one more attribute and try to create a constructor of box weight class, we should remember this thing, that the total number of arguments which we have to pass if we are using constructor should be the sum of data members declared in parent class and child class. So in child class there is one data member, and in parent class there are 3 data members. So in the same sequence, that from parent towards child, all the data members should be there, and all these values will be going to get initialized to the data member of a derived class. Now this is a main function wherein I am making a object of a derived class, and I am just passing different values to it as an argument, and then I am trying to display the volume and the values entered by the user, and we see that we are getting different values in case of different objects created by passing different arguments to and the function while creating a constructor. So here it is an example where you can see that the volume of box 1 is coming as 3000 and weight is 25.25. It depends upon the values passed as an argument while creating an object of a class, because the moment you create the object of a class, constructor get called on the basis of the number of arguments you are passing while creating an object of a class. The constructor will be going to get overloaded. So both the constructors have overloaded with different memory addresses, because the number of arguments I am passing to them and the order of arguments are different, and the object names are also different. That's why, as the argument passed are different and the object names are different, you can see the difference in the values calculated and displayed over here. Now this is an example of hierarchical inheritance wherein I'm having one class box. It's the same class having width, height and depth as 3 data member, one copy constructor, one parameterized constructor, one default constructor, one again parameterized constructor, and a function to calculate the volume. And here you see I'm having another class box weight I have extended from the parent class box. Here again one new data member is being introduced, and again a constructor is being defined over here, which will be having all the data members of parent class first of all, and then of itself or the child class. Now here again I am having one more class color box, which again I am extending from parent class box only. It is having another data member, that is int color, and here I have created a constructor. Now when I see that in the main function of another class I have created three different objects with three different arguments. One is of box weight class, another is of color box class, and you see that when the different objects you try to call the member function, different values get appeared. So this is hierarchical inheritance. The output accordingly to the input provided to the different uh, objects while creating or calling the constructor. So with the help of object 1 we have calculated the volume and weight. With the help of constructor 2 we have created the volume and weight. With the help of constructor 3 we have also displayed the color box of a color, because there is another property, that is color box. It's a multi-level inheritance, whereas levels are three. The box class is as it is same, wherein there is a copy constructor and a parameterized constructor. Then the things which we need to remember, this is the same box class wherein different constructors are being made. One volume function is over there. Another class which I have created is box weight, which we have just seen that in box weight also we have created one more data member, that is weight, and we have initialized also with the help of constructor. And to just send values to be initialized by the parent class, will be using super keyword. Super keyword will be taking the values from the child class to the super class or parent class constructor. So that's why here it will be taking the value of it as an object, and here the values which are being passed over here, here no value is being passed, so it will be without parameter, and here I am passing len, so it will take len to the parent function. And in this, as we are talking about multi-level, another level, third level, I've created one more class, that is shipment, which has been extended from box weight. It is having its own data member cost. Again I have created some constructors. Again with the help of super, previous values in sequence will be going to the parent classes. Now in the main class, when we make the object of shipment, third level of class, we can pass the argument, and I have created two different objects to just show you the difference between two. Here as the values are different, that's why it is displaying other values. Otherwise here as the arguments are different, the values which we will see over here, the calculated value will be different. In the output it is like this: 3000 is the volume, 25.5 is the weight, and cost will be $45. Whereas in case of another object, we can see that as the values or the argument which are passed are different, the output is different. So multiple inheritance is not supported by Java, as I said you. For this we'll be learning interfaces, because there will be a issue of ambiguity as already shown to you in previous example. Again, one more example is given over here. Is a parent 1 having message function, parent 2 having the same message function. Only the message which I am displaying is different. Here I am saying I am a parent of class 1. Here I am a parent of class 2. Now to implement multiple inheritance logically to the child class, we will be extending deriving the child class from two different parents. The moment you write this, you will see that there is a compile time error and you will not be able to do that. So a reference variable of a superclass can be assigned a reference to any subclass derived from that superclass. Fine. So this is the example wherein again we have created some classes with the constructor and different arguments. Here we have seen that in the main function I have created two objects. One is of box weight class, another is of box class. And with the help of two, when what we do now, what we have to do, as it is we are referring to superclass variable, we will be assigning or allocating the memory of box class to the plain box object. So what I have written, box weight, the name of object is weight box, the number of argument I am passing to the constructor are different. Here it is calling a default constructor. So when I try to display the values with the help of weight box, the volume and the weight box of a weight of a this box, it will be showing me different values, whereas when I say plain box is equals to weight box, plain box is basically a object which is being created with the help of default constructor, and weight box is the object which is being created with the help of parameterized constructor. So the moment I refer this plain box object with the object of a parameterized constructor and I try to display the output by calculating the volume or calling a volume function and displaying the volume, we say that there is a compile time error. It will be going to show me the error. This statement will be invalid because plain box does not define a weight member. Plain box does not define a weight member, and I'm trying to display the weight of a plain box. So the error will come. So we have to be very much careful while defining or implementing the inheritance. This is all about inheritance, introduction to inheritance. In coming classes, we will learn about multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance along with interfaces. Thank you.